Now at 9, Muncie Mayor Dan Ridenauer touches on the future and the state of the city.
The verdict is in. Former attorney Alex Murdaugh found guilty of murdering his wife and son.
And the U.S. works to support Ukrainian agriculture.
And day 3 of the 2023 NFL Combine in Indianapolis. See how one Ball State grad looks to the future.
Tracking a windy and stormy Friday. I'll have the full forecast coming up later in the show.
Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Avery Johnson.
And I'm Connor Simpson. Today, Mayor Dan Ridenauer gave his annual State of the City address. He touched on how new housing developments and a new crisis center in the works.
NewsLink Indiana's Madeline Kerr attended the event.
Yes, the mayor gave his address right here inside the Ball State Alumni Center. He spoke about the work that the local government has been doing and what's in store for the future of Muncie. Take a look.
You know, I am pleased to report that the state of the city of Muncie, Indiana is strong.
The administration started off with 3 main focuses.
We had financial, we had public safety, and we have infrastructure. Those were the main things that we felt like we had to resolve right away.
According to the mayor, Muncie's debt has decreased by around $5.5 million. Police training has increased, and the city has added 270 new houses with more on the way.
We are better off today in 2022 financially than in 2019. We have more housing options available for our residents to both retain residents and to add new residents.
The debt decrease has made way for new investments, including 2 new fire stations.
I can say with full confidence that we are better off with public safety.
Another new addition planned for 2023 is a 24-hour crisis center aimed at helping those dealing with drug addiction.
We're not stopping here. This is the first step in trying to help solve this solution.
And that was the main focus of the address, the long term.
I have to make sure that our city is in a better place after I leave than when I came.
Ridenauer says he is confident the city is moving in the right direction.
It's what I've been doing, and it's what I will continue to do, is to hire the right people, make decisions that are long-term, and help our city in a positive way.
The mayor says that he is focused on the future and the development of Muncie. From infrastructure to public safety, he says there have been and will continue to be a lot of changes for the city. In Muncie, Madeline Kerr, NewsLink Indiana.
The Indiana State Police has seen a rise in phone scams. According to a press release, the scam involves using the ISP headquarters number. The scammer uses a caller ID showing Indiana State Police and says they're an Indiana State Police trooper. They threaten people saying they'll be arrested if they don't make a payment for drug charges pending in Texas. The ISP wants to remind all citizens, scammers play on emotions and fear. The best way to protect yourself is to ignore suspicious calls and report them.
And right here in Muncie, one man uses his passion for cooking to spread kindness and connect with the past on a deeper level. NewsLink Indiana's Andy Newman has more.
The sights, the sounds, the smells.
We're hungry. It was smelling good when we came in.
And of course, the taste.
That's really good.
All the makings of your average 5-star restaurant. But this top-of-the-line dish is served on a card table inside Botsford Swinford Hall here at Ball State University. A dish made by a student.
The name's Tojo. I'm a serious home cook, and I am also ServSafe certified.
Thomas Tojo Tran is a freshman at Ball State and has been in the food game for over 6 years.
I wasn't able to cook until I was 12. My mom wouldn't teach me all the years because she was worried I'd cut myself or something. And then she wasn't at home because she had to do work. So I went home and I practiced, and I've been practicing casually since then.
If you're lucky enough to find yourself in the halls of Tran's dorm, as he puts together one of his signature dishes, he'll be more than happy to share.
What you making today, Tojo?
This is glazed pork with fried rice.
In fact, that's the way that he prefers it.
I just have a big passion for just sharing food with people. It's like the love language of the world. The idea that no matter what culture or language you speak, you can still come together and enjoy one common thing, food. I want to just give as much as I can away because I know I can make a lot of smiles happen. I always appreciate the people that generally really like, this is way better food than anything I've ever tasted because I really put the extra mile.
And just as Tran says, the students couldn't give the food higher marks.
Yeah, I mean, it's great food. Like, I would recommend it to anybody. I feel like he should start his own restaurant, in all honesty.
But Tran doesn't just make the food to give it away. His cooking allows him to learn and connect on a deeper level with his culture and, of course, share it with others.
I'm mainly Vietnamese, but I'm also Chinese and Indian as well. So it's really nice to incorporate my heritage from generations back while still keeping the present types of ingredients and foods here. Basically make my own traditions.
As Tran looks to the future with his food-sharing passion, he gives his final secret ingredient to his success.
You should never fear to learn how to try something new. It may be daunting and it may be dangerous, but learning it right and learning it correct can equal a great thing.
In Muncie, Andy Newman, NewsLink, Indiana.
You know, today would have been a perfect day to take a stroll on campus and get some of that good-looking food, but I don't know if that's going to be the case in the near future.
Yeah, it looks like we might have some rain for the next 2 days. Let's go ahead and take it over to Noah for a look at the weather.
So yes, much cooler today, but also rain is going to come into the picture. If we take a look at our current temperatures around the region, we see 42 here in Muncie, 43 in Indianapolis, warmer to the south. But if we take a look at our current radar here, we can see the rain system that's going to cause us trouble for the next couple days here, moving in from the southwest here. And that's really going to move through tonight and cause us some problems. But the big thing we're tracking tonight is heavy rain tomorrow, especially into Friday and throughout Friday. Early week warm up next week, maybe even 60 on Monday, and then cooler temperatures return as we head into next week. I'll have all this and more coming up, my forecast later in the show.
The verdict is in. A South Carolina jury has found disgraced attorney Alex Murdaugh guilty of murdering his wife and son.
Jurors took less than 3 hours of deliberations before they shared their verdict in the double murder trial today. Murdaugh was convicted of all 4 counts related to shooting deaths of his wife Maggie and son Paul, including 2 counts of murder.
When the motion was renewed, the court found that the evidence was sufficient for the jury to find the defendant guilty.
Now, that was after jurors heard from both the defense and the prosecution earlier this afternoon.
Why did they never take DNA samples off of Maggie's clothes, her dress? Why did they never take DNA samples off Paul's clothes?
It was lied and lied and lied and lied, and it's been okay. We respectfully request it stops here today. No, it's not okay.
He is set to be sentenced tomorrow, and the state attorney general's office has said they will not seek the death penalty. So Murdaugh faces the possibility of life in prison without parole.
The Justice Department is urging an appeals court to reject former President Trump's sweeping claims of immunity surrounding the January 6th Capitol insurrection. The court is considering several private lawsuits against Trump for his conduct leading up to the 2021 attack. In a file today, the DOJ argued that the president cannot be immune for his speech on matters of public concern if the speech incites violence. The department says President Trump's January 6th speech directly before the insurrection incited the attack. Today's brief marks the first time the DOJ has directly addressed the question of Trump's civil immunity for his conduct related to January 6th. The White House wants new cybersecurity legislation. Find out why.
And the U.S. is helping Ukraine rebuild. How the partnerships will help the country grow in more ways than one. Next.
I love you!
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
and Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom
Reaching residential areas.
and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Welcome back. The White House wants new regulations to force companies critical to economic and national security to raise their cyber defenses.
It's part of President Biden's new cybersecurity strategy. The White House wants to work with Congress to develop legislation that holds software makers liable when their products fail to protect against hackers. Over the past few years, several attacks have been threatened to key public services. The Biden administration imposed cybersecurity requirements on aviation, oil, and gas pipelines. The next sector could be healthcare. The Biden administration isn't only supporting Taiwan, it's increasing aid to Ukraine in a way that you might not expect: farming. Ukraine has a long history of agriculture, which makes up for more than 40% of its export revenue. Russia's invasion severely damaged that sector, and the country's economy has plummeted by more than 30%. Now, the U.S. Agency for International Development has announced new partnerships with 3 companies that have histories of working in Ukraine. It's projected to increase grain shipping capacity by more than 3 million tons each year.
The Biden administration has also approved an estimated $619 million potential arms sale at Taiwan. It includes missiles for F-16 fighter jets and related equipment. The move will likely further inflame already heightened tensions between the U.S. and China. The administration formally notified Congress yesterday of the proposed sale.
A judge says Starbucks broke federal law in its push to stop workers from unionizing. The federal judge ruled that Starbucks showed a, quote, general disregard for the employees' fundamental rights in a case involving 21 New York Starbucks locations. The coffee shop chain faced 33 labor complaints, and they were also ordered to give back pay and damages to workers who launched national organization efforts.
Tracking a flood threat tomorrow. I'll let you know just how much rain we're expected to receive coming up after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an
to
effort.
get to know each other.
On a deeper level. Father.
Cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Much cooler weather today. If we take a look at our current temperatures around the region here, we can see really 42 here in Muncie, 43 in Indianapolis, 46 in Terre Haute, places 20 to 30 degrees cooler than they were yesterday. Looking ahead at our almanac here, we can see today's high of 49, much lower than what we saw yesterday, but near the average high we had for this time of year, 46, and obviously nowhere near the record high of 74, set all the way back in 1992 here. But if we look at tonight here, heavy rain, especially after midnight. Lows are going to be in the mid-30s. Winds are going to be out of the east at 10 to 15 miles an hour, and that's really going to be the main problem for tomorrow. But if we take a look at our precision cast here, we can see by about 3 a.m. Clouds have moved into the area, but rain still off to the south. But as we look into the morning commute tomorrow here, we see this heavy to moderate band of rain really moving south to north through the state and really covering the entire east central Indiana region in this rain. And it's really going to stick with us throughout the day, causing some flooding and some threats. I wouldn't be surprised to even hear a rumble of thunder, especially in the afternoon when those thunderstorms are exposed to that warm, moist air. But looking ahead to Friday night here, we can see that cold air sort of wrapping around the backside of this system and may even bring east central Indiana some snowflakes into the evening commute hours, especially as it gets colder through here. And we can see by about 8 p.m. here, the snow has really overtaken the region. So if you're getting out anywhere on Friday night, you want to make sure to be weather aware, be really careful if you're driving in anywhere like that. By about 10 or 11 on Friday night, this has moved out and it's been replaced by just cloudy, cold weather, no precipitation as we head into the weekend. Now, with any storm like this, you want to be careful with flooding, and this one is no different here. A flood watch in effect late tonight through late tomorrow for our region here, expecting 2 to 3 inches of rain. That's going to be impactful for driving, for any sort of travel, any sort of plans you have tomorrow. Obviously, don't drive through those flooded roadways. Remember, turn around, don't drown. It's not worth driving through those flooded intersections. Your car or you can be easily carried away in high waters. And also with a storm like this, we have to worry about wind. We're under a wind advisory from 10 a.m. tomorrow to 10 p.m. on Friday, and that's really going to be because of these winds going to be 20 to 30 miles an hour out of the northeast, really going to be gusting even higher than that to even 35 and 40 in many places. So if you have any objects that are unsecured outside, really going to be something you want to tie down. But tomorrow, heavy rain, scattered storms in the afternoon, a high of 44, highs in the mid-40s around the region. And this storm may signal a bit of a change for our weather pattern around here. If we take a look at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, see our area in light blue here at an above percentage of having below normal temperatures as we head into the first 10 to 12 days of March. So maybe a while before we see those 70s like we saw yesterday and a few days before. But looking at our 7-day forecast here, we can see kind of a washout on Friday, 46 on Saturday, 53 on Sunday, all the way up to 64 on Monday before showers in the afternoon sort of temper our temperatures down back into 48 on Tuesday, 43 on Wednesday, 41 on Thursday. And we really see these temperatures sort of just returning back to where they should be for this time of the year.
Well, I'm definitely not looking forward to that rain, especially with the weather. It's been so nice, it's been so bright, it's been so sunny, and we're in for a crazy change, that's for sure.
Just when you thought it was becoming spring.
I know, I was already seeing sprouting coming up, like the flowers, and I feel like that's just going to be gone soon. So, yes. Well, thank you so much. The NFL Combine is underway, and one Ball State athlete is representing the Cardinal and white. And spring break is quickly approaching for Cardinal athletes. All this and more next in sports.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously? Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Dylan Selke with sports. Have you ever wondered what spring break is like for college athletes? NewsLink Indiana's Bryce Demsevich is live in studio to tell us more. Bryce?
Thanks, Dylan. Here at NewsLink Indiana, we focus on athletes when they are actively playing their sport, but never get a chance to dive into their lives when they aren't. I got the chance to talk to several Ball State athletes about what goes on in their lives over break.
Being here while doing sports and maintaining school, it's a lot of work. Like, I feel like I just go from practice, shower in the locker room, and then I just go right to class, and I'm there all the way till like 4 every day. It'll be a huge adjustment because when I go home, it's like I have none of that. I have no volleyball, I have no structure in my life. I don't have to worry about school, which is nice. So I just have a lot of free time just to do whatever I want.
Going on break mid-season is one thing, but going on break after finishing a season is another. Ball State freshman swimmer Kenzie Pierce talks about how going into the off-season will allow her to put more time toward things she wasn't able to during the campaign.
Some things that I really want to spend more time on is definitely my devotionals with my discipler and just like my time with myself in my Bible, and also being able to spend more time like cleaning my room and actually having things more organized, but also just going out and doing things that I normally wouldn't be able to do, such as like going on a walk on a nice day like at 2 p.m. when I normally can't.
On the flip side, some athletes don't get much of a spring break. For Ball State women's basketball star Allie Becky, most of her spring break will be spent in Cleveland at the MAC tournament. Becky explains what goes into this unique time during their season.
It does help that school is not, we don't have to go to school just because like we can mainly focus on what we have to do. And so for the week that we go to Cleveland, it's straight basketball, and we're digging into scout, we're digging into just trying to be better, continue to be better, and just look forward to the next game.
Spring break for all Ball State students officially starts tomorrow, and classes finish for the week. Classes are set to resume on Monday, March 13th. Now, back to Dylan for an in-depth look at a former Ball State Cardinal at the NFL Combine. Dylan?
Thanks, Bryce. The 2023 NFL Combine is underway in Indianapolis. NewsLink Indiana's Zach Greer spoke with one former Ball State Cardinal who plans to make his dream come true.
While some students in Muncie get ready for their spring break, these college students are ready to change their lives here in Indy. For Ball State cornerback Nick Jones, he's ready to show scouts and coaches his true skill set.
I'm a long guy. I can play on the outside and be a number 1 corner if you need me to. I can be a nickel, lay down, cover guy, and a slide if you need me to. I can move back, play in the middle of the field, play safe. I think my versatility and just knowledge of all the positions in the back end.
Jones spent 4 years of his collegiate career under Coach Mike New at Ball State.
I love Coach New and the staff really just because like the structure. You know, they real strict, accountable. You know, they all about the details over there. I say they really prepared me to be a pro.
No matter where his future may take him, Jones still knows that there's no place like home.
Nothing really feels more home than Sherman to me. You know, even on the cold Tuesday night action games, and there's probably 1,000 people there. To me, that's still the greatest feeling ever. Just knowing, you know, that's home to us.
With the draft less than 2 months away, Jones still looks for the final piece of the puzzle in his game.
I think I still got a lot of boxes to check in a lot of people's minds, you know, to validate myself. And I've been preparing for so long. I know the player I am, I know the person I am, and I'm just ready to show everybody really.
With plenty of hard work and dedication, Jones looks to turn his dream into a reality by hearing his name called when April rolls around. In Indianapolis, Zach Greer, NewsLink, Indiana.
Make sure to tune in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for Waking Up with Cardinal Weather with our very own Zach Greer and John Kleemeyer for more content at the NFL Combine. To step over to the court, nationally ranked Ball State men's volleyball takes on Central State last night in Worthen Arena. The Cardinals sent the Marauders home with a 3-0 sweep to extend their win streak to 4 matches. Bryce Barrett leads the way for the Cards with 8 kills and an ace on the night. With the win, Ball State improves to their record to 10-5 on the year and keeps their spot as the number 12 team in the country. The Cardinals head to Long Beach, California off the dominant win to take on Long Beach State University this Friday. Ball State hopes to extend their win streak against the number 4 program in the country. And hey guys, I am super excited for the NFL Combine with one of our Ball State own representing. I'm super excited.
I know. I feel like that's such a huge deal. Super excited for Nick. Super excited for Ball State. I mean, what a great way to represent.
It's great to see the exposure. Great to see the Cardinals represented at such a big event. Do you agree?
I absolutely agree, and I'm very excited for our volleyball team and seeing them score another win.
Oh yeah, I feel like they've had such a successful season so far, so I'm really excited to see what they're going to do in the future and, come end of the semester.
Ton of super exciting things in sports right now. The NFL Combine, volleyball's playing great. I mean, we've got a ton of stuff, and spring break coming up as well. That's super exciting for all of us, really.
I know. I'm ready to, take a break from classes, take a break from homework, break from school, and just have a relaxing spring break. Are you guys going anywhere?
I'm going to Wisconsin. Not exactly warm, but I'm excited about it.
All right. Well, that's exciting. Great news to hear. All right. After the break, we'll take a look at our anchor picks.
And we'll take one final look at weather with Noah next.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared, so start now.
Right now?
Right now. You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. The legendary rock band Kiss has announced their final tour. The End of the Road tour will kick off this October in Austin, Texas. Kiss will make stops in 18 cities, including Los Angeles, Seattle, Knoxville, and Montreal. The band will finish their career near where they started nearly 50 years ago, New York City's Madison Square Garden. Tickets sold for the show will be sold by Live Nation and will be available beginning on Monday.
Fans bracing to say goodbye to Stranger Things after its 5th and final season may not have to do so after all. Netflix announces the hit sci-fi horror show will take on a new life as a stage play. Stranger Things: The First Shadow will make its world premiere later this year at the Phoenix Theatre in London. The television show's creators Matt and Ross Duffer will act as creative producers for the play. Tickets for the show will go on sale in the spring.
Now we're going to go to Noah for one final look at weather.
Yeah, it's honestly been a weather roller coaster through the past days. I mean, we had 70 yesterday, and we're down to 40s today, and even storms tomorrow. So really just going to be kind of whiplash around the region. We see temperatures warming up as we get towards Saturday and Sunday, and then even to 64 on Monday. So really just going to be a really up and down weather around the region. But then we sort of settle back into a pattern as we head into the end of next week here, where temperatures end up in the mid to low 40s, right where they should be for this time of year.
Thank you, Noah. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us tomorrow morning again, starting at 8 for our morning show, Waking Up with Cardinal Weather.
And for more news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.